Going live into the game right now after the players have cut the opponent's deck, and we will start.
Yeah, and just a reminder, this is round 4 already of the day, so we're more than halfway through for these players.
So 6 Swiss rounds in total. We will have 2 more after this, and then it will be top cut of the top 8.
Yeah. So I guess this means Czaro is starting. He's inking Lilo and playing Bobby.
Oh, filtering your hand immediately.
Yes.
Taking out any of the uninkables that you do not need right now.
Grandmother Willow.
Yes, so it's sure that he has another Willow in play.
Yeah.
But he needs something to ink. So Grandmother Willow just chokes up the hand right now.
And develop your brain on the other side.
Yep. Kamresh choosing to ink the Horseman Strikes because in this Dogs deck there is no evasives. You just ink it, it just goes to the big tram.
I mean, let's be honest, you need some ink, so why not ink it? And their lady is going into the ink, and he's playing Grandmother Willow and Rhino.
And questing for 1. So it's already 3 on board compared to none.
And there comes the Tipo to ramp, of course.
It's nice that he has his ramp, because in this matchup, if you do not have your ramp, it might be GG very soon.
Yeah. Let's be honest, Dogs is of course running away with it, and if you don't ramp, you don't have enough ink to answer that.
Yeah, you kind of have to play into Spooky Side or Raging Storm. And let's see if he has the Cinderella on 4.
Yeah, let's see where they take this. I'm also curious to see what Czaro will play on next turn, which can also be Stage Manager.
Okay, so paying just 2 ink, 1 less for it, for the Grandmother Willow.
Yeah. Well, let's not forget, if he does play Spooky Side, all of this goes into the Inkwell, which is also not that useful at this time.
But against Dogs, you don't really have big characters.
Yeah.
You want to go as wide as possible, quest for as much as possible. So if that gets disrupted by Spooky Side, then it might be very difficult for you to rebuild your board, even though you have a lot of ink.
Yeah.
Because Dogs doesn't really have much card draw, and Kamresh does have the Cinderella.
Fair point.
So him questing with Tipo, and then with Cinderella's effect, he can actually go to 1.
Yeah, so it's 4-1 right now for Czaro. But of course he has a wider board than Kamresh, and the question is, does Kamresh have the cards to deal with that board? Which is, funny enough, something we've seen a lot today, where the question is, somebody's going wide, do you have the cards to deal with that? And the answer to that determines how well your match is going to end up.
So we know next turn if Kamresh has the Spooky Side, he is able to play it, and all of the characters on the Dogs player will go go into the Inkwell.
Yeah.
So then Mowgli is now played for 1.
Yeah.
And then Kamresh has to decide between a non-character, so either Raging Storm or Develop Your Brain.
Yeah.
And he chooses to discard the Develop Your Brain.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, the Raging Storm is your key card against Dogs in that sense.
Yep. So, but the key thing to note is that now he has shown that he has the Cinderella. So next turn when he plays it, he can actually ink twice with it. So it will be and the following turn he can actually go to Raging Storm. So the question now is whether Czaro has another Mowgli to snipe the Raging Storm out of his hand. That will be interesting to watch.
And Czaro, of course, is hurrying up. I mean, he's at 7-1 and he wants to finish this before that Raging Storm has the even chance to touch the board. Ah, yes, there goes Scuttle into the ink.
The Scuttle, and then activating the
Yeah.
first Cindy, second Cindy,
Drawing again, and
passing the turn.
plus the turn, yeah. And now is the question, does he have something to remove that Raging Storm from the hand?
He has to snipe it with Mowgli, because with Ursula it's not possible.
Yeah.
It is not a Raging Storm is not a song.
No, it's not.
Yep. It would be interesting to see if but even if he plays another Nani to search right now, it will not be possible to ink and play the other Mowgli that he searched for. He's just getting his card draw from Delamoon.
Yeah. I think he's searching for that card, which means he probably doesn't have it in hand. And if he doesn't have it in hand, it's better to not play this turn because you know everything you're playing
Yeah, I mean,
gonna get removed.
It's like maximum numbers of Mowgli that he can play in his deck is 4.
Yeah.
So having to search for 4 copies of it in his probably 60 card deck.
Yeah. But he's up to 11 already, so it's going very, very fast. So the question is, what is he gonna do with his turn?
It sure is an interesting matchup.
I think it's fun to see Ember anyway. We see a lot less Ember these days, and that's except for dogs. But I mean the diverse Ember deck, so it's always nice to see something like Ember Sapphire.
Yeah, in this in Winter Spell we get the Raging Storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it comes.
I mean, let's be honest. The Raging Storm was not the card a lot of players expected to come. They were expecting a song, more like Be Prepared. To have it in Ember?
It's quite well balanced because in Amber it's difficult for you to build the board back up after you have done the board wipe.
Oh no, I think it's very well balanced in Ember, and I also like that it is not singable, and it's a card that more like I expect people had other expectations from that card. It was teased quite a lot, and it's different than what people expected. But it's a very cool card.
It's true.
And now we're seeing how Czaro will reply to this.
He's chosen to get Bobby.
Yeah.
With the Nani's ability.
So you gotta wonder what is he searching for in his deck, or is he not discarding?
No, he hasn't played it. He
Oh,
searched with the Nani.
Sorry, I missed that one.
Oh, Hades on there.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Well, there's...
Yeah, because now you want to push for your questers. Now the dogs has to answer your big
No, but the
Hades.
question is, like, if there's no character opposing you, could you not maybe have waited one turn, you know, and played it then?
But all the characters are small in dogs, so you kind of want to take out as many as them. Like, it can only go wide. It can't.
No,
exactly
I agree.
go-
So that's why I said, like, if you play it one turn later and you play something else, you...
Yeah, but you do not want to go. You do not want dogs to build up their singers, because then they can Delamoon you, and Under the Sea is still a possible.
oh, but that's precisely my point. Like, if you play Hades one turn later, you know you can remove something.
Yeah, but you want to take out of the big cost singers.
Yeah.
So Nani being a 3-cost singer, you want to take him.
Yeah,
out.
but there was no Nani on board when he played Hades, right?
There was. It was put into.
Okay.
It was put into the Inkwell.
Then I missed that. My apologies.
No worries.
Another Hades.
That's why he just chooses to play it. Because with these 3 characters on board, it's possible that he shifted the big lady, and then now you have 8 cost singers on board. You can actually sing. You can pay for the Delamoon.
Yeah.
And then going Under the Sea.
Yeah.
With the 8 cost singers that you have.
And Down comes another Mowgli. And a lady, so... Oh, that's also a very cute indicator for your hand. Detective
taking
Pikachu.
this- Yep.
No,
And
it's a
then
lady.
now playing the lady.
It's A12, so that also makes it quite interesting to see where it's going.
Yeah, because is it lethal on board? Okay, it's questing to 14.
Yes, so I think it's...
Right now it is lethal with 5 law. Oh no, not
No,
yet.
not yet,
It's
not yet.
5.
Yeah.
It's only 5 law. But there's always a possibility of him shifting the big lady on top of the small lady and
Yeah.
then questing for 2. It is a possibility.
Yeah, and I can also play a tramp, which also gives the other lady more lore.
That's true. It can also quest for 2 with
Yeah.
a tram in play.
So lots of possibilities there. Let me put it that way. If I was Camrush, I wouldn't trust the situation to just take care of itself in a sense.
But right now I think he is one removal away from being able to push for yeah.
So
Okay.
that's a lot of cards being removed.
Now what do you do with one lady?
Play tramp.
And quest for 2,
And quest for 2.
then you go to 16.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get there somehow. I mean, tramp is a good card to have also in play. So
Yeah, of course.
the question is, does he have it in his hand?
We haven't seen any tram being played.
Nay.
Yeah, but I saw a sneak peek. He has the big lady in his hand. Right now it's tricky because, yeah, although you have a lot of ink, 6 ink,
Yeah.
what do you play?
That's of course always a question. Like, what works right now? I mean, Kimmer's also at 8. Like, if he quests with both, he would already be at 12.
I think at this point I might play Mowgli to look at what is the 2 cards left in Kamresh's hand.
Yeah.
Because you kind of knowing information also allows you to take a better play line. How do you play against what is going to come?
I think it's a bit of a how much do you want to gamble? So if you're saying, I want to gamble, you play something else. If you want to make sure, you play Mowgli. But it might also cost you the opportunity. There's a loss of opportunity when you play Mowgli because you can't play something else that might quest or might get you other stuff.
Yeah, but he has enough ink. He has 6 ink, and I would, yeah. Well, of course, that's each everyone's preference. Some prefer to look at information.
Yeah.
Like with Emerald, there's always the option of you looking at your opponent's hands.
But it looks like he made another choice. And I don't think there's enough ink left to play Mowgli. Because that's of course the cost of opportunity. When you play Mowgli, and Mowgli I think is 4 on top of 2. Sorry, 2. Confusing. Mowgli is 2, but that means if you only have, I think he had 6 or 7 ink, there's a lot of other things you can't do with the hand.
So right now he took back to Bobby.
Yeah.
It's whether he want to ink it and play Mowgli,
Yeah.
or to play the Bobby itself to try
Yeah.
to search for something like a tramp.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know there's a Raging Storm in there, so I would not risk it, but like I said, I'm not a gambler. Maybe, and I know some people are much more of a gambler than I am.
Yeah, there's always the high risk, high reward
Yeah.
kind of play as well.
No, he's taking the safe route.
Yeah.
He's like, show me your hand.
I think probably he did this because he did not have anything to.
Oh, no Raging Storm in there.
Yeah, the Moana and the Carefree Surfer. And we know the Carefree Surfer is going to come down next turn.
Yeah.
Because who can resist the ability to draw 2 cards?
Yeah. And maybe one of those 2 cards is a Raging Storm. You don't know. That's the possibility. So it's very much.
So we have the Carefree
Wait and see.
Surfer. And for one, develop. It's always a good thing to filter your hands.
Let's not forget Moana. It's also a very interesting card because you can ink from your discard, and its discard is quite full already. I mean, if you do want to ramp to more higher characters.
Yeah, at this point, it's like giving him more ink is always nice, you know. But yeah.
Oh no, I agree that the Carefree Server was a better choice here, but it's still an interesting card.
Yeah,
it's not a bad card to play.
Yeah, in this deck, because it can also trigger, you playing it on 5 can also trigger your Cinderella.
Yeah.
Because it is a princess, Moana is a princess, and then you can get to use Cinderella's ability.
You know, when it says like that, I always get flashbacks to the second Wreck-It Ralph movie, where they, oh, she is a princess. Yeah, and we see that sometimes with Lorcana, like, oh yeah, this card is a princess, we just forgot. Yeah.
Yes, true. I think now he has to search for his Delamoon because he has enough singers on board.
Yeah.
And with Bobby, what? Oh.
Yeah, that's the Delamoon. So, but the question is, who's he gonna sing it on to? Hades.
Okay. Not sure what did he discard.
He didn't sing it. I think he hardcasted it.
Yeah, he hardcasted it,
yeah.
but I'm not quite sure who he discarded with Bobby. Must have missed it. And now him singing it. Was Bobby played the last set? I can't remember.
I think.
No, I
don't think so.
Yeah, it's this set.
And there comes Tramp, I think. He's at 14, so it's interesting to see where he'll take this.
But if he played Bobby this turn, then he doesn't have enough singers on board, right?
No. I don't think so.
For Under the Sea, I mean.
He's showing him his hand. He even put Under the Sea back, so.
Is he going to challenge with the... I think he should, because right now I think the Hades, one of the Hades has -2 strength.
Both,
so,
I think. I think he played Delamoon twice, right? The question is... He's counting.
He's going to quest?
Yeah, he's 18.
And now with Big Tram on board, the small lady can actually quest for 2. So he's up to 18.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said, you know, that's if you have that small lady on board, Tramp is the best card you can play in that sense. Free lure.
I made a small mistake because now I know, because I keep forgetting that Delamoon's effect lasts until the start of your next turn. So right now, both of the Hades actually...
Can't take out anything.
Yes, they only have 1 strength each. So only the big Stitch has the ability to take out something.
Yeah.
Does he...
I think that also means he doesn't have a
Raging
Raging Storm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drawing 4.
Does he have enough ink left to play any removal cards?
He has to have Spooky.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's game.
Yeah.
With Spooky you can't remove your Big Tram as well. So it should be game. Yep.
Yeah. He's scooping, it's game, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, he put up a real good fight now. It's just dogs is quite fast.
Yeah.
And you see that over here. I think that the first Raging Storm made a lot of sense, and it slowed him down at least some, but there wasn't a quick enough return from Camrush after that Raging Storm.
That's true. You need to have like 2 board wipes, preferably the first one being Raging Storm and the second one being Spooky Sight. Or it can be also the other way around. But actually the better one would be the other way around, because if you Raging Storm twice, it kind of takes out your board advantage as well.
Yeah.
Then you have to rebuild your board, which we know in this color, combination, the Amber Sapphire, it is not able to do so quite quickly because it only plays one big character at one time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, but it was a very interesting match to see, and this turn I think Cameron will start, so we'll see how it goes with him being on that advantage.
Yeah, we will see.
It's but you see how quick it can reset if you. He saw that Raging Storm coming and he took it into account. He was like, I'm not gonna play all my cards. I'm gonna wait till you play that because I know you have it, and I will take the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see how quickly that rebuild goes.
I'm also quite curious to see what is the meta being played in our tournament, because but we of course we will only review it at the end of the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we won't add it till later today. I mean we haven't seen all deck lists, so that's with the judges. But let's be honest with each other. We've seen a lot of Blurple already.
Yep, we've seen a lot of Blurple. Justin being on blue steel.
Yeah.
And also the amethyst steel.
Yeah, I think it's you know, if you look at the popular decks, amethyst is still in a lot of popular decks these days, and dogs is quite interesting play, but it's very difficult to master. It's not something I would bring to a tournament unless I'm quite sure that I know how to count it and how it works.
The dogs in this set is not so much like the ones in previous one where you just aggro out.
Yeah.
In this set, you kind of you aggro a little, and then on the draw, or it's like it kind of you have to play into the Under the Sea.
Yeah.
And then taking out your opponent's board and then questing for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course in this matchup it's kind of he is the aggro deck because Amber Sapphire it's quite slow. It's one of the slower decks. So yeah, then she has to quest as soon as possible and try to get to 20 before Kamresh can take control of the board.
I mean, it's quite funny. Like Amber Sapphire is not that slow, but compared to dogs, it might as well, you know, drive 10 and 100 km per hour road. Yeah.
That's true. And here we see Kamresh actually mulligan the whole of his hand, so probably he does not have Ram and hopes to find it because he is on the play.
Yeah.
He does not have an extra card draw, and yeah.
And he needs that ramp, let's be honest. And he's also not playing a card this first turn.
I'm not even sure if he has anything to play on turn 1 other than develop your brain. I
mean, if you have developed your brain in your hand, you want to play it, right?
Yeah, of course. But I mean, like, I don't think there should be any characters in this deck. Okay, there's Sail. And we see Ink Runner being inked because there's no evasives on the side of the Cesari's board. And he actually has a good opener with the Tram.
Yeah.
I mean Lady.
Lady, it's Lady.
Yeah.
But the Lady, that if the Tram comes down, she'll quest for more. Which is always an opportunity on turn 2. You never know.
Yeah. And here we actually also see Kamresh inking his in Let It Go.
Yeah.
So we know that his opponent also knows that there will be one less removal in this deck. And
he's inking Ursula, playing Grandmother Willow, and that Tramp comes down, and that means the Lady quests for 2, which is a good start.
How are you going to stop the Lady right now?
Let's be honest, Grandmother Willow does so much lifting for this deck.
Yep. It is one of the cards that make people think that the dogs is unfair right now because of how you're able to play Big Tram on turn 3, and he can do so by inking and playing Big Tram if he has it. Yeah,
I mean, I get where people are coming from, but on the other end, I think people are still not seeing the real danger, which is Grandmother Willow in Infinity.
Yeah, that will be interesting to watch.
I can tell you, I've played it. It's a pretty much insane card.
For me, I'm not much of a deck crafter.
Yeah.
So I can only net decks.
Kamresh meanwhile has gotten Cinderella down, which is good for his ramp. He's at 5 ink. So, but now he needs to get some cards to deal with everything that Czaro is putting down.
If he has Spooky Side next turn, it can lead to a big tempo swing. Because all of the characters on Cesare's board right now is actually 3 costs or less.
Yeah.
And we know that he does not have enough ink to play a more than 3 cost character.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does so with Bobby.
Yeah.
He inked the Finnick and plays the Bobby for another hand filter. What do you think he might be looking for, Mai?
I assume maybe larger tramp, bigger lady. I mean, those are quite some cards you want to play in this case.
Yeah, I would think that he will probably be looking for the big tramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, since he did not play on 3.
I think he inked the Emerald Chromicon, which is also interesting.
Oh no, he discarded with Bobby.
Discarded, sorry, discarded. I meant discard, but yeah, that's also interesting. So, I think yeah, another lady or another tramp. I mean, there's so many good ladies in this deck. And I think he's already at 6, and we know there are some ladies which can allow you to really ramp up the speed in which you can quest. And I think he's figured out against the camera deck, which is a lot slower. He needs to get there before the Raging Storm.
Yep. So Kamresh deciding between 2 cards.
That's also interesting to see what he will play. Cinderella taking out that lady.
Yep. Respecting the 2 law.
Yep.
Because Cinderella cannot take out the small tramp. It's a 1/3. Cinderella has 2 strength.
Yeah, and Scuttle coming down is also always interesting. And Ward is not that interesting in this game because Doc's not going to take out anything with actions in that sense.
But it might be because then you can't choose it for Delamoon.
Fair point.
And then you can actually take out any of the dogs other than Big Tram, of course.
Yeah, but it's only 1 card. And if you see how wide that board is, you need to have at least 5 turns before you can remove all these cards. And by the time that has turned around, there's so many new cards there. Yeah, it's just too slow for real removal.
Yeah, but he is kind of locking the board, in the sense that he will take out any of your characters if you quest. Right now he's trying to stall as much as possible.
Yeah. And down comes the Lilo, which is always an interesting card. Which, of course, if she's banished, you may play her from your discard pile at the beginning of the turn. Of course, exerted, which is the only downside to that.
Yep. But it still forces your opponent to use one of their characters and answer it. Yeah. Because otherwise the next turn he will actually quest for 2.
Yeah.
So here Cesare uses the Nani to try to slow down because it's kind of, if you don't answer the Cinderella, he might be able to, I'm not sure if he has any songs that the Cinderella can sing.
Yeah.
Or he might actually be able to play another Cinderella and be able to search for the Raging Storm.
It's quite hard to see which cards Cam has in his hand, so hopefully we will find out soon. I mean, that might also be a tactic, like not playing that much cards because he's planning on playing that Raging Storm and keeping his board small.
But right now he does not have the ink required. He's at 7 right now. So it will be interesting to see what is he going to do.
I mean, and let's not forget, Cesare is at 9, so 1, 2, 3.
He will be questing for 9 the next turn.
Yeah, that's 18. So are you going to wait for that? Because he will quest, and you don't know what else he has behind his hand to maybe quest for even more.
Oh, he's choosing to quest instead?
Interesting. Maybe he already has that Raging Storm and it's like, I don't care if you take out my character.
Or is it a spooky side?
That's also a possibility.
He's paying 5?
Let it go? It goes into the Inkwell?
Oh, wow.
That means he has enough for Raging Storm on the next turn. Or a spooky side.
He probably has 2 Raging Storms in hand and he is not able to ink anything.
That could be a thing, yeah.
But I'm not sure why he did that. He could have inked the Let It Go as well, right?
Yeah. It's an interesting move.
Or did he already ink at the start of the turn?
Oh yeah, I think maybe he did. Yeah, he inked that one card, right?
I'm not too sure.
I think he inked an action. Sometimes we wish we had a replay here. Because everything is going live, we can't just rewind and watch it again.
That's true.
And sometimes it's also hard to see. It's so that was the Raging Storm, and it took out the whole board. And now Czaro is rebuilding with Lilo and with Lady.
Yeah, so Lilo he can pay at the start of the turn.
Yeah.
It's going to ink.
Smart move.
So it's not able to activate the ability from the discard anymore.
And playing in Tipo. Is he gonna ramp further, or is he gonna? No, he's gonna leave it, I think.
He doesn't have any cards left in his hand. So it's really...
No, I thought what he was holding was his hand, but it was also ink, yeah.
Oh, good game.
Yeah.
Shifting the big lady and...
Yeah.
Yeah, in this matchup, the dogs is too quick for the Ember Sapphire.